Pheasant815 here at the range. I'm going to practice shooting from the seated position. I have a little doghouse blind I'll be hunting from, so I thought I'd better practice in a real world situation from a seated position. So let's take some shots. Since I'm primarily practicing shooting from the seated position, I'm just shooting at 20 yards just to get a feel for it. Alright, let's see how we do. Already I could tell I'm turned too much this way, so I'm going to adjust my seat, open myself up just a little bit towards the target. There we go. Let's knock another arrow. See how she flies. Much nicer. That felt a lot better. I'm practicing once I have the arrow knocked, resting it like I'm going to be seated. I'm not going to be able to hold it all day like this, so I'm going to sit mostly like this in the blind, kind of compact. Once I get my arrow knocked, a trigger on, be waiting for that shot. Just trying to draw a little slower to be quieter. That's not going to work. I got to do my regular draw and then let the arrow fly. You may notice the arrow is bobbing up and down a little bit. I'm doing what's called floating the pin. It's where I don't try to hold it still on the point, but I let it move a little bit and accept that, and then when it hits, then I release. That floating a pin is a technique I read about, and I want to say it was Field and Stream, but I'd also heard about it from one of my hunting buddies. When I was a kid and I'd shoot all the time, I'd try to hold it still, and I was doing shorter distances with a lesser weight bow. But this floating the pin seems to actually make me more accurate, which is very counterintuitive for the pistol shooter. Do you have the arm guard on today? Always good to keep that on. Previous videos I didn't have it on. That's not a good choice. But I managed to make it out unscathed. It's my 6th arrow. I'm going to shoot it, then we'll go take a look. Alright, we'll go down range, take a peek. Before I go down to the target, I previously showed you this little deck stand. That pole, this was the base, was here, so you could practice in your deer stand. Well, I feel bad for the poor schmuck who was in there when that fell, because that must have given him quite the jolt. Can't imagine would have went higher than that when this was the bottom, so yeah, you would have met the base there. I'm not sure why they didn't get a pole longer, but yeah, that would have been uncomfortable. Let's take a peek what we got going on. Well, not the prettiest, but these two are, what is that? About 2 inches and then 3 inches to the right. That's unacceptable. And aiming for the E here so I didn't get too close because I saw these got over. That's good enough. This is a little too far away to make me feel happy. And a little low by about 1.5 inches and way flyer, but that was when I did my first one and I wasn't sitting correctly. Get my trigger out of the way. So yeah, glad I'm practicing from the seated position, because this is not acceptable on hunting day, especially from only 20 yards. I gotta get better at this seated position. Let's take a couple more shots, see if I get any better. Let's do my second set, see if I get any better. Couldn't do much worse if I'm gonna go hunting this year. I'm not gonna take a shot that's gonna only wound an animal. There we go. That's on the money. Didn't realize before how much I kind of used my body when I was pulling the string back. Now that I'm seated, I have to be more stationary, so it's more of an upper body thing, which is probably better form, but something I definitely need to get used to. Yeah. First 6 arrows warm up. Looks like we're on our way to second 6 being good, but in the field, one wrong shot means you might have wasted your whole afternoon, or worse yet, an injured deer. You want to drop him right where you see him. Yes. Why don't I put you down there so you can see some of these hit? Oops, that was my fault. Jerked the trigger. Before I go get that second set of 6, let's take a look at this stand to see what happened here. See, this is the base of the wood. That's steel. And they had it secured right up there. But this is a lot of weight, this piece of wood. So you put a guy up there, there just wasn't enough here to hold it, so it just broke straight down. That would have smarted. Anyway, let's go ahead and cross the little step there, field, and take a look at our shots. Gorgeous day out here today. A little overcast, which I kind of don't mind. There we are, right inside, just outside, right there in the A. Right outside. Wait, I'm missing one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh my goodness, look at this guy. This is the one I jerked. Wow, I almost didn't hit the bag. Well, hopefully that's not the shot at my deer, because I'm going to have to chase him for quite a while. Hoping that's the shot at my deer. But that's why I'm out here, practicing. So when the season comes, when October 1st hits, I'm ready to go. I should have started practicing from the seated position long ago. Don't take out your arrows like that, that's bad. But I've got one hand here, so I'm going to turn the camera down so I can do it the correct way.